All right, well, this is my story. Welcome to the channel, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Parker Joseph. I am a six-figure entrepreneur and I am still growing and I'm becoming more of a day trader now, but let me lay out exactly how I got here because it is kind of crazy to think that all this evolved in the last couple of years. So let's break it down by stage. Now listen, I didn't get here overnight and it actually took me a little bit to actually understand how to make money, how to structure a business, how to run a business, how to even day trade, because we're into that now too. And I'm gonna go over exactly how I got here. So to kick things off, let's start with the beginning. This is where you have to build capital. So I wanna say that I was in grade school when I got my first job, and this helped me out tremendously. I was working as a produce clerk, putting up produce and bringing boxes to the front, and I was making actually below minimum wage. It was about $10 an hour. Why was I doing that? Well, because I've always had a lust for money and I've always wanted to make a little bit of coin on the side. And so I would save it up, but I would spend it as fast as I would make it because, you know, I was kind of known as that guy in the school that just had money coming in, and I would basically go buy a whole bunch of different candy bars and stuff for my friends and this and that. So fast forward to about grade 8, I kind of knew, like, listen, I gotta dial in, I gotta make some fucking coin here because I'm going to high school, the big bad whatever, right? And I'm like, damn, I gotta figure out how to make some money. So this was when I decided to start my popcorn business. Now this was shortly lived because I had to close up operations because I didn't read the terms and conditions with the janitor who was supplying the popcorn. Yes, I bought popcorn off my janitor. Sounds pretty sketchy. I know. I should have maybe checked it for Anyways, I started my popcorn business. I was gonna go door to door selling bags of popcorn to different people. Now, I knew that these bags of popcorn cost me $2.50. My time was worth about X amount. I forget what I put on that, but at the end, I came out with $7.50 a bag, which was the retail price of this popcorn, which was actually pretty steep for the popcorn, I will say, because that actual same bag of popcorn was selling for $5 at the store, but it was delivered right to your door. How could you not, right? I went door to door for probably about a week until one of my classmates caught wind that I was doing this and they wanted to be a copycat so they can make money, but then the teacher found out that they were doing it and the teacher was like, well, you can't sell the popcorn or whatever. I don't know, something happened, but I actually ended up getting suspended for this reason. And if you guys want to know the whole story in depth, I made a whole video on that, so go ahead and watch that. At this point here, I was faced with my first controversy, my first business controversy that would have either made or break my business. Well, what did I do when the teacher told me that I couldn't do it? Well, I continued to do it because I still had inventory. I wasn't gonna sit on this inventory and eat all the popcorn. I'd get fat as if I did that. So at that point, that's what pushed me to get out and sell these bags of popcorn. Fast forward to about 16 years old when I wanted to make some passive income. So I did that notorious search on Google, how to make passive income online fast, by the way, because we want that fast cash, baby. And what came up? Well, there was a whole bunch of different type of search results. There was, you can make an app, you can make a website, you can make a blog, you could do this one, blah, blah, blah. But I ended up actually settling on starting an FBA store, okay? So if everyone knows what FBA is, it is actually horrible, okay? It's really difficult to get started in FBA rather than Shopify. If I started with drop shipping, I could have done a little bit of a leaner startup instead of having to actually invest money into my company. But that is definitely not the smart way to do it. And if you guys are looking to do it, I would suggest doing drop shipping first and then Amazon once you have the capital to do so. Anyways, so then I decided, listen, I'm gonna make a storefront for this product. And I was a programmer at the time, so I coded a website for these metal straws that I was selling. That was my first ever product, was metal straws, and then I moved to screen protectors, but we'll get into that in just a sec here. But basically, I made this website. It looked very horrible. It didn't really function properly. It looked like shit. And when you try to scale it up and down from the phone, it didn't really work. So I was like, damn. I was like, wow, this sucks, you know? Then what did I find out? I found out that I could literally just ship these straws to Amazon, and Amazon handles everything for me. This is true passive income. I could literally just send the product to Amazon. They deal with the customer support, they deal with the shipping, they deal with returns, everything. All I gotta do is just provide the product, which is kind of ideal if you really think about it, you know? So I did that. What happened? Well, I sold out in 30 minutes and I was like, holy shit, I'm actually making some money online. Finally, baby, the cash is rolling in online. So that's when I started getting addicted to Alibaba. I would wake up and I would go to sleep living on Alibaba, trying to find different products. I also used another tool called AmazeOwl. Unfortunately, they don't provide the service anymore, so now you're left with Jungle Scout, and Jungle Scout is really expensive, okay? I really hate to say that because the CEO, Greg Mercer, is a really cool guy. I met him in Las Vegas, but it is just way too expensive, okay? And I don't recommend doing it. I was shipping tons and tons and tons of product over to these warehouses, and I was selling out like crazy, baby. The money was rolling in. By this time, I was making about $6K a month take home profit, okay? And that was sick. So after all this, what happened, right? Well, after this, I noticed that my account had a really good standing with Amazon, and they were like, listen, you are now eligible for lightning deals, baby, lightning deals. All right, now what are lightning deals? Lightning deals are the absolute best, okay? Now, listen, the product that I was selling was super cheap. It was about $1.50 for this product, and I was selling it for like $16, okay? $16, all right? After Amazon's cut, I made out with like $9 a roll. A lightning deal is when you pay to get to the top of Amazon. Now, it is only $100 for about 3 or 4 hours to get to the top of Amazon. Now you're probably thinking, well, Parker, that sounds like a horrible deal. Do you know how many people go on Amazon? Like, there are so many people that visit Amazon every single day, and you are the first one up there. So after all this was probably the most money I've ever made in about a 1 hour period, okay? I bought a lightning deal, I wanna say on Mother's Day or whatever, and I had just recently stocked up with about, I wanna say about like 10,000 units, 20,000 units, and I sold out. I sold out with this lightning deal. I made $17,000 profit in like an hour or two. It was absolutely insane. I woke up, I had that money in my Amazon account. I was like, holy shit, it's working. Whatever I'm doing, it's working. So, after all this, you're probably saying, well, what happened? Then I decided, you know what? I'm not really getting any value out of doing this on Amazon. Like, the customer's great. I'm making money on Amazon, but I don't actually get the email and I don't get returning customers. So then I decided, listen, I gotta set up my own Shopify store. And this was when I learned everything there is to know about website creation, the different colors, the different flows of the website, like animations popping in, the types of imagery, everything, okay? And once I made the biggest and baddest website, I was like, well, there are no people to the website. And that's when I taught myself some Facebook ads, Google ads, and I was ready to rock and roll. At this point, I was basically filming all my own videos and I was making all my own campaigns. So this was the most ideal skill that I have ever learned in my entire life. Just to put that out there, Facebook ads, that's it, man. Because if you actually boil it down with, you want to start a company, the thing that you need to know the most is how to actually market your product. Making the product, getting the product is easy, but marketing it is the hardest part. So if you can learn that, it's a great skill to know. With this store, I was pulling in about 10 to 25K every single month. And then during the holiday seasons, I was pulling in about $80,000 to $120,000 per month take home. Okay, so that was pretty fucking solid. I was making some sweet coin. I had an inflated head, I'll tell you that for sure. And that's what brought everything to a screeching halt, was the big ego that I had, all right? And it was the most humbling experience of my entire life. And what happened, you might guess? Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but Facebook loves to just ban ad accounts for absolutely no reason. So Facebook banned my ad account and I was prohibited from running ads to my store. And that really kind of brought the business down because I couldn't get any customers through the door. Then after that, I was getting chargebacks and I'm like, what the hell? A chargeback is basically when a customer is not satisfied with the product or they didn't even receive the product at all. So they call their credit card company. The credit card company comes to you, says, what the hell? Then they take the money from you and then they make you pay a penalty for that, right? Well, I was getting a ton of those. Like, I would probably say I got about 10 a day, and that was absolutely insane. So I get on the horn and I'm talking to my supplier in China, like, listen, man, are you even sending out the product? He's like, yes, my friend, it's on the slow boat, you know, and I'm like, fuck, they gotta start coming quick, man. You gotta get that shit over there. I'm losing money. I'm losing money. So then basically PayPal emailed me about 2 days after all this. They're like, listen, man, you're getting far too many chargebacks here. We got to freeze your account. So PayPal froze my account. At the time, I had about $16,000 in my PayPal account, and that was locked from me getting it. Now that's USD, so Canadian, that's like 24 grand was locked in this PayPal account. I was like, well, shit, you know, I gotta pay this guy because, like, I guess he's sending out the product. So I didn't really have that much money saved up because I was out blowing it because of that ego that I was getting. So then after that, I had to dip into my savings a little bit just to get the products to the people. And I'll tell you what, guys, my bank account really suffered and it really kind of bottomed. And I will say, I don't know, but I basically was broke for about a month or two. And I was like, geez, what happened, man? I really fell from the top, man. Like, I was on top of the world to absolutely nothing. And honestly, that's why I always say meteoric success is always followed up with a severe downturn. And that was really what it was. So you're probably wondering, how are you back at 6 figures? Well, let me tell you, that knowledge I was telling you about with Facebook ads was my saving grace. I then went out and started my new social media marketing agency, PWJ Media, and I was turning over clients, getting new people on, hiring on new talent, and I was just growing the shit out of my agency. Now we have about 15 to 16 clients with 1 or 2 employees. So we're growing slowly. Slow and steady wins the race. And now I'm also picking up day trading as well. I am able to read charts, put my money on it, take my money out, and, you know, just kind of watch it throughout the day and see how it does. Now, that is also a very useful skill as well, day trading, if you can learn how to do that, just because, you know, you could do it from anywhere in the world, and the stock market has been around for a long time. And you can make some money just sitting on your couch today if you wanted to. All right, guys, thanks for taking a trip with me down memory lane. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.